What's up YouTube? I'm Ken from Campbell Racing. And before we get into the video, I just want to give a huge thank you to everyone. We just hit 1,000 subscribers last night, and it's just something that I never thought would happen and is just kind of crazy to me. So I truly thank each and every one of you and hope that you enjoy the content moving forward. But that's not the reason for this video. The reason for this video is by far the most questions I get on the channel are about that. So let's talk about it. All right, so the plan for the video is first, I'm just gonna give you guys a parts list. So if you only care about what I'm running and not what my thoughts are on it and stuff like that, we can get you in and out real quick. Also, everything will be in the description below, so you can check that out as well. But after I go through all the parts, I will go through them again and kind of give my thoughts and review on that. Now, I am not a hardware reviewer at all, more of a software guy, but just know that everything is going to be coming just from that and my experience with it, not from like a hardware review type perspective. But I'll go through and review everything, and then at the end we will talk about like future upgrade plans and stuff like that. So let's get into it. So the cockpit is a Simlab GT1-Evo cockpit. I also have their freestanding triple monitor mount with quad mount add-on, the Vario alignment tool, which I think comes standard with it now. I did add the P1X feet to get it up off the ground, the keyboard tray, shifter bracket, and button box holder. And sitting on top of that is an NRG Prisma Seat. For the wheel and pedals, I have the Fanatec DD1. Do have the kill switch add-on for that. Paired that with the Podium NASCAR Rim and the button cluster add-on for that. I also have their Formula, I think it's like V2.5 rim for whenever I do road. I just don't do that much road. Pedals are the Clubsport V3s, and shifter is the Clubsport Shifter V2.5. The monitors that I have here are three Asus VG32Vs. They are 144 Hertz, 1440p, 1800R curvature. And it's just a random flat 27-inch monitor up top for the quad monitor there. For accessories, I have the Apex Downforce button box, the Buttkicker Gamer 2, the Asus Bezel free kit, and Streamdeck. The gloves I wear are Sparko Mechanics, and headset is Audio Technica ATH M50X USB, and I film with a GoPro Hero 11 Black that is clamped to the chair and has the gooseneck attachment there. So that's all the equipment. That is driven by a custom built PC. We won't get too much into the specifics of that, but the PC is a 12900K 3080 Ti with 64 gigs of RAM. But anyway, so not including the PC, that's a whole separate thing, but just the rig and everything else that I gave you guys, the grand total for that is $6,000. So if you were just looking to see what I run and how much it costs, there you go. So feel free to go fill your shopping cart up and have some fun. So if you are interested in my thoughts on everything, then stick around and we will get to that. All right, so we're gonna swap to this view so I can walk around stuff as I talk about it and stuff like that. But anyway, first up is the cockpit. And again, it is a Simlab GT1-Evo cockpit. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. I've never had anything else, but I'm never going to need anything else. So it was a, just buy once and be done. The freestanding triple monitor mount has been fantastic. And the Vario adapters here, which come here, and then you can just like screw right here and here. Very fine-tune everything. Just highly recommend. everything about the Simlab stuff. So also with that, the P1X feet, was not expecting those to make as big a difference as they did, but it raised it up off the floor, much more comfortable to get in and out of. Highly recommend getting the feet. I will say with those though, they do not isolate the vibrations from the floor with the Buttkicker the way that I was hoping. So you do still have the vibrations, and you're probably going to want to look for something else. Maybe if you were to put like some padding or something under the feet, that would help as well. But it did not completely remove the vibrations the way I had hoped. But it is much more comfortable to get in and out of the rig. The keyboard tray is great. Like swivels out of the way. Just show you. So very comfortable to get in and out of there. So no complaints there. The shifter bracket that I have over there, very sturdy, like it. And the button box holder. So I got we'll talk about it with the Downforce button box, but I got the button box holder that came with the Apex button box. Did not like that at all. So got the Simlab button box holder, and I have it like at an angle, as you can see, but for some reason I'm an idiot and I can't get it to like stay put. I would have thought there would have been some way to like lock it down. So if you'll notice, I never really push the buttons too hard, because if I do, that entire button box is just going to keep going back. So as I said earlier, I'm not a hardware guy, but it would have seemed simple enough to just add some way to like lock it down, but there's no way to do that from what I can tell. So just be aware of that. You may want to look at something else so that you can actually lock it down at whatever angle that you want to be able to lock it down at. I also did get the keyboard, or I'm sorry, not the keyboard, the mouse tray, and I had it on the right side. Do not recommend that at all. As you can see, I've just kind of got an old end table that I have here. But the two issues that I had with the mouse tray was, one, it was just very, very small. But two, it would either like angle down in a way, or you tighten it down and it would like come back. But when I had the Buttkicker and it was going, it would vibrate the mouse, and the mouse would just come off of that small tray very quickly. And so I needed something separate from the rig so that it didn't have the vibration coming from it, and much larger. And so just got a cheap end table, and it has been fantastic. And so do not recommend the mouse tray. The only other thing I will say about Simlab, if you're in the US, get everything at one time. I got it twice. Like I got everything that I thought I was going to need, and then I needed a couple of more stuff, and shipping is just ridiculously overpriced. And so only pay the shipping once. And so make sure that anything you're going to get from Simlab, you get it all at once. And then that way you only pay that shipping fee one time, because otherwise it just gets ridiculously expensive. The NRG Prisma Seat is up next. It's fine. Zero issues with it. I just happen to like sweat a lot, I guess. So it gets really hot on the back, but I mean, it's a good seat. No real complaints. Any seat that you get is going to do that. So realistically, it's fine. So that's it for that. Let's see what we got next. Okay, wheel and pedals. So I have the Fanatec DD1. Have had zero issues with it. The NASCAR Rim has been good. I'm gonna go ahead and get in. It's 14-inch diameter, which I like. The two issues that I have with this is, one, the stitching has started to come out. I don't know if you can see it, but the stitching has started to come out right here. That's because I hold the wheel like this a lot. And I'd actually hurt my right arm last year and had to drive one-handed, and I was doing this. And so my thumb rubs right here a lot, and the stitching has started to come out there. But also these button clusters, they come undone a lot. They start to rattle. And so it's a real easy fix. All you got to do is take this off, and then have an Allen key. You take everything off, and then you have to just tighten it down. But I don't know if it is the vibrations from the butt kicker that does it or what, but every probably 2 months, specifically this one, the one on the left doesn't really move that much, but this one starts coming undone and starts wiggling and all that stuff, and I have to go and take the wheel off and everything and do it. It does not take 5 minutes. It's just a minor annoyance, but it is an annoyance. But had zero issues with it otherwise, and so I do like it. I like the 14-inch diameter. Might want to go up from there if I ever upgrade to something else, but yeah, that's that. The next up is the shifter, and so I keep it in sequential now, you'll notice. So if I ever do Xfinity or truck or something like that, I keep it in sequential because a lot of people were talking about they had issues with it not registering in H pattern, and I had the exact same problem. And I took it apart, cleaned it, did everything, and it worked for about another month. And then it started having the exact same issue again, and I didn't want to keep having that issue happen and take it apart and all that. So I just leave it in sequential. It works fantastic in sequential. But it is unfortunate because like I bought it so that you could do both, right? And so yeah, that's an issue. I know that SimMagic has one, and so may start looking at that. But yeah, so don't know that I would go this route again just because I've had multiple issues with it, and kind of fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, and yeah, you ain't gonna fool me again, right? The old George W. quote. But anyway, I have the V3s, and yeah, no complaints with them. They work like they're supposed to. I did move the brake and clutch over because the brake was too close to the gas, so I was having like my feet together like that, and I was like that's too close. So I did move these over some. I also got these before I got my rig, and so I was at a desk, had these against the wall, and do not recommend that. So if you're gonna get these, go ahead and put them on a rig or a stand or something, because what I had to do, I do have the brake performance kit in here, and so it's really hard to push the pedal down. And so every time I would go to push the brake, the front would want to come up, and I would have to like push down with my right heel as I was trying to brake, and that got extremely annoying. Even though I had it against the wall, the front was wanting to come up because I had the brake. So definitely, if you're gonna get these, mount them to something. So like the cockpit or stand or something needs to come first before you get these. But haven't had any issues with these. I do recommend the brake performance kit though. That's almost a necessity in my eyes. So let's get back out because I forgot what is next on the list. It is monitors. So monitors are great. Initially, this was my center monitor. It got like a dead pixel, and it just happened to be like right in the middle. And so I ended up switching those over. But highly recommend. I would say that I would say to go with the 144 hertz, not necessarily the 1440p, but yeah, the 1800R curvature is really good for me. It kind of encloses me in a little bit, but I don't feel claustrophobic from it either. So that's something to note. If you are going to get the bezel-free kit, we'll just kind of skip over to it right now. A couple of things to note with it are that the bezels on, or the side bezels on these monitors are not that big, so those work out well. However, especially with the curve, when they come together, this front lip of each monitor is actually what's going to hit behind here. So you're going to have a lot of issues lining everything up because the front lips are what's going to hit first before you can actually get to the bezels. So that's something to note on the bezel-free kit. Also, because you have your connector here. So this, before I had the bezel free kit, this monitor used to sit perfectly flush with this, and it was awesome, and I loved it. However, with the bezel free kit, as you can see, I can't connect it because of this tab right here. So I had to raise this up some. It's not a big deal, but I may need to like put some like black backing or something right there so you can't see. But yeah, just know, and that has nothing to do with the extender. So you can see the extender here at the bottom that comes out. And so I did have to move my button box down just a hair for that extender. So that's something else to keep in mind if you've got something right under where your monitors are together. But been very happy with the bezel free kit as well. And what you guys see, it does look a little bit off, especially if you're looking at like the top right. But for my eye view, everything matches up perfectly. So been really pleased with it. The button box, it's up next. So I would give this probably an 8 out of 10. I do recommend, getting it. It's done me well. So there's only a couple of issues that I have with it. So these light up. However, you have to have this and that switch up in order for these to light up. That never happens. So I don't really understand the point of these lights. The way I have this is for my VR, it'll reset my headset, and I have it under the guard so that I don't accidentally hit it. But anyway, these are never on, so they're kind of pointless. But more than that, these 3 switches right here. So this is for my tires, this is fuel, and this is quick repair. But you can see they're kind of small. Now they're fine. I mean, it's not that big a deal. But why not use this switch? Like, have this size switch for all 3 of these. I feel like they're just kind of cheaping out. This thing was like $250, and they're saving what, 20 cents or something like that by not using a good quality large switch here. I don't understand that, and that irks me. These rotaries, fantastic. A lot of feeling there. You're never gonna like go over anything like that. Button, they feel really good, really solid, all of them. These rotaries here, they're a little light, and so I wish that they had the same kind of feel that these do, the same stiffness. They're fine, don't get me wrong. Would recommend getting it again. I would buy this button box again, but I really wish that they would have these be the larger size as what's under here, and a little more stiffness in the rotary here. So, and I feel like if they took these lights away, which I never use anyway, they're gonna save the 20 cents it would cost to like put these 3 switches in. So wish they would do that. But having said that, yes, I would buy this again. No problem there whatsoever. So let's get back up, see what's next. The butt kicker. Okay, so I have one butt kicker mounted right under my seat. I just went to Home Depot and got like a socket extender here mounted to the rig. So this is the Gamer 2, and you can't get these anymore, and it's probably because of the whole mounting solution and you had to do something else with it. But the butt kicker, I will say, that is my favorite add-on, favorite piece of this rig. I feel like it has gotten me to be a better driver, as well as just being a whole hell of a lot of fun. And so, like if you're looking for like one upgrade that's going to do the most for you, a butt kicker or something like that. I know that like Slip Angle has one that goes on all 4, right? Something like that. But anything with haptic feedback, yes. A lot of things will make you a better driver. A lot of things will give you more fun. I think that anything with the haptic feedback does both. So very impressed with that. If you only have money for like one upgrade, I would I would say go haptic feedback and that be it. So very, very pleased with it. We've already talked about the bezel free kit. The Streamdeck, honestly, I did not buy it for this rig. I already had it. It's just an extra button box. And so I've just got it tied on with some black zip ties. Don't actually have it mounted anything, but yeah, it's neat. I use it for things that like I can kind of look away and do it. So I only have it for like muting Discord and muting chat and stuff like that. But so nothing important, but it's a Streamdeck. And if you don't like it on your rig, that's one of the best things about it. If you don't like the button box, the Apex button box, you're kind of screwed, right? You have to sell it. If you don't like this Streamdeck being on your rig, well, you can just use it on your computer. So really like it for that. The gloves, the Sparko Mechanics gloves that I have, they're fine. They served me well for a long time, but they pick like crazy, and I don't understand why. I never do anything with them. Like I have them here, I take them off, and I set them here. I don't understand how they pick so bad. So I am looking to upgrade gloves in the future. Nobody really has anything that just checks all the boxes, right? Like I like this part of this glove and this part of this other. The Sparkos do great. Had them for a long time. Probably need to wash them because they do serve a second purpose. If I'm ever getting tired, I can just smell them and it's just like a sniff stick. It will wake you right up. So yeah, another benefit to those, I suppose. Okay, so on the headset, have the Audio Technica N50X USB. So the reason I have these is I used to have XLR, and it was just a cheap XLR mic. I've had two different, I don't know if they're DACs or whatever. So I had a Yamaha AG03 and then a Focusrite Scarlett Solo. And for recording, they work great. The XLR mic was way superior to that mic quality. However, you had to boost everything in post. And so the issue was like for Discord and stuff like that, people couldn't hear me. And it's like, okay, well, there's no way to boost it, in Discord. I've tried literally everything I know, and I cannot get an XLR mic to work properly with Discord. There were just so many issues that I had with it. And so I do not recommend going XLR mic unless you can figure out something that I can't. If you know what I'm doing wrong, let me know in the comments. But I would like to go with an XLR mic and get better quality. But these are fine. But I've been spoiled with Sennheiser HD 598s for years. And so I still use those when I'm not on the rig. And so I like these because it's simple. It's USB. You just integrate it and go. If you're wanting to go with something else, or you don't really care about, having everything together, if you're just looking for comfort, the Sennheiser HD 598s, get that. Don't look back, and then you can pair that with like a mod mic or something like that. But those have done fine. I don't see me getting rid of them anytime soon, unless I end up going all out, figuring out what's going on with Discord and getting like a Shure SM7B or something like that. But yeah, so that's it with the headsets. So all right, on to the filming thing. So just have a clamp here with the gooseneck and then the GoPro Hero 11 Black. I mistakenly told people that I was using the wide angle lens. I'm not. So it's in linear, and I actually have to zoom it in to get it exactly where I need it. But yeah, so I've had no issues with it. So that's a lie. So when I had the battery in it, it would overheat. And so what I had to do was, there's no battery in here, completely remove the battery. You have to install different firmware in order to get it to run with no battery. And then I just have a power cord going down to a power strip right there. And so have power infinitely. It works great. The only thing is when you record your videos, it does kind of split it up into segments. And the very beginning of the audio, I can sync perfectly, and then I'm off by a little bit. Like every time you have to like add another segment to it, the video and audio does desync a little bit. Typically, my videos are either 2 segments or 3 segments. So it's not that big a deal. I don't go through the issue of resyncing it, but like I do notice it at the end. And so it's just kind of annoying there, but don't see any reason to upgrade from it. I have seen people that have like their, similar view, but it's not tied to their chair. I don't know how they're doing that. I don't know if they have something way back, because I've looked and it doesn't look like they have anything right above them. I would love to know how they do that. But that's what I'm going to be doing for the foreseeable future. And yeah, that's it. So got it tied with the custom built PC that's over there. Do have the standing fan that's here. Got a ceiling fan above, and I have another fan that's over there. So there's lots of airflow going on in this room. It does get pretty toasty with everything. But yeah, that is review of the rig. So let's see what the future upgrade plans are. All right, well, that is a full review of the August 2024 Campbell Racing rig. So let's talk future upgrade plans and kind of recommendations for some of you if you don't have some of this stuff already. So first off, as you can tell, I'm in the Fanatec ecosystem. If you are buying new, I would not recommend any Fanatec gear right now. And that doesn't have to do with the gear, except for the shifter. I just wouldn't recommend that in general. But the DD1 and the V3s, perfectly fine. They've never done me wrong. But with all the uncertainty of Fanatec as a company right now, I just wouldn't feel comfortable getting anything from them new. Now, if you find a great deal on some used Fanatec gear, by all means. I would recommend the DD1 and the V3s. I think they're really good products. And so if you can find those used for a good deal, yeah, go ahead and pull the trigger. If you don't have anything yet, though, I would not recommend going that way. As for like force feedback strength and stuff like that, I have my stuff maxing out at 11 to 12 newton meters. And so I would not be able to go down below that. It's just kind of one of those things, once you get there, you can't go back, right? But also I know that because of peaking and stuff like that, you don't want to get anything that like you're running it at max the entire time. You want a little bit of headroom for stuff. So I would probably need something that is 16 newton meters or higher. So I'm kind of looking at that type of stuff. But yeah, so as far as my upgrade path, I would say pretty soon I'm probably going to get a new shifter. It'll most likely be the SimMagic one that you can swap back and forth. And so I'll be trying that out most likely soon. After that, maybe looking at upgrading the pedals. Again, the V3s are fine, but as I said, I'm a software guy, and there's no software attached to those. And so I would like to do like some throttle and brake curves and, just kind of mess around with that type of stuff. I've driven a buddy's Husqvarna Ultimates, and they were phenomenal, and they are also extremely high up there in price. And so that would be a hard justification to my wife and be like, yeah, no, these pedals are fine. There's absolutely no issue with them, and I'm also going to pay $1,500 for a new set of pedals. So that's kind of a hard sell. Another factor in that is I don't live in an area where I can like easily get rid of these pedals, and so that's something else to look at. So after that, yeah, the DD1. My issue with upgrading from that, there are better products out there, I do believe, but I like to stay in the ecosystem and first party stuff, and nobody else except for Fanatec has a wheel that is above 330 millimeters. and so that's like an inch smaller than what I have here. And it makes sense. I mean, they're just going for the GT3 drivers and below. But yeah, the NASCAR guys, we want larger diameter wheels, guys. And so the natural answer is, well, okay, well, you just go third party and you can get whatever wheel you want. And yes, that is correct. And you also lose any button functionality that you have on your wheel. So I do have the button box there, and I could kind of rework some of the buttons the way that I have it there. My main concern is like push to talk and stuff like that. But yeah, so I don't exactly have worked out what my upgrade path is for that. The others I kind of do. And so I wouldn't expect to see my wheel change anytime soon or anything like that. But yeah, so you got that. But then you've also got, like, I was talking about how great the haptics were, right? Like a Buttkicker is fantastic. If you don't have haptic feedback, get haptic feedback. It's fantastic. But then I started looking at some stuff, and Slip Angle has haptic feedback, but it's, you know, all four corners. That seems pretty interesting. So may end up going and trying that out. You guys probably saw I've got a Valve Index right there. Love racing in VR, absolutely love it. Index is also showing its age, so may go that route and try some more VR stuff. So I've got a lot of unknowns. I've got that upgrade itch. You know, everybody gets that upgrade itch, and I've definitely got it. I just don't know exactly how I'm going to scratch it yet. After the shifter, the shifter is going to be the first step. But it's a slippery slope, right? Once I take that shifter off, and then I'm not fully in the Fanatec ecosystem, then it's like, okay, well, I can get rid of this and get rid of that. And so, yeah, so those are the upgrade plans, or I guess upgrade questions, because I don't really have any plans yet. But that's kind of where I see it going forward from here. And so, yeah, so who knows where we'll be in the future and when we're going to get there, but should be fun. It's always, you know, a path forward, right? So anyway, that'll do it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. And yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.